Hey everybody, I'm Sam and I'm sitting here with Bruce, the producer for Degrees of Separation.
Hey, what's going on?
Bruce, we're taking a look at the gameplay of Degrees of Separation today, and I think a great starting point would just be to ask, who are the two characters in Degrees of Separation that we're looking at?
So right now we're looking at Ember. Ember kind of comes from this tree world. She sort of is used to living in a vibrant, warm world, and that's contrasted by Rhyme. Right? Rhyme is sort of this Nordic hero that comes from a long line of heroes. He lives in this sort of cold, desolate world all by himself.
And so the story, which is written by Chris Avallone, is narrated by voice actress Kira Buckland. We're going to get a chance to hear her voice in this video.
Both stepped on the bridge together, matching each other's steps. Yet as they came close, the air shimmered with a star-like glow, coalescing into a barrier, and the bridge between their worlds collapsed. And this was the day Ember met Rhyme.
I think she's such a great choice for the game. She really adds a lot to the narrative and the environment of the game.
Yeah, she's perfect to this role. She was able to find a very conversational voice. It kind of feels like she's just sitting right across the table from you, just telling you the story like, you know, you're one of her friends or something.
And Chris Avallone of Planescape Torment and Fallout New Vegas fame, this is kind of a different venture for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different from a traditional RPG. There's even a lot of challenges with sort of the way that the story is structured, just because Ember and Ryan, the characters that are playing through them, they kind of have most of the agency. So it was definitely a new challenge for him, but I think he did a really, really great job with it.
Awesome. And a lot of the themes and Degrees of Separation we're going to be able to look at in this video with the concepts of hot and cold. And I think anyone who's watching this video can see that they're literally separated by their two different worlds. Can you speak more to that?
Yeah, so it's sort of like a fairy tale world where their homes have kind of become bound up with them. So although now they've sort of left their homes, they're together in this other world, but Rhyme has brought this sort of elemental plane of ice with them, and Ember has brought sort of this natural forest realm of warmth with her. But this separation also becomes a huge part of the puzzles and becomes a force that brings them together as they try to overcome it.
That's super cool. We'll take a look at some of these puzzles as we're moving through the game. Can you speak a bit more about how the forces of hot and cold are used in the gameplay to solve different puzzles and interact with the environment?
Yeah, and you can see it right on the screen right now. So the elemental forces affect the environment around them. So Rhyme will freeze bodies of water. He's able to sort of create snowballs. And Ember activates, the warmth of Ember's world activates vents and is used basically to overcome challenges throughout the world.
That's very cool. And each level of the world has a different gameplay aspect that interacts with the elements of hot and cold. Is that correct?
Yeah, so one thing that's interesting that we'll see as we sort of move along is that as Ember and Rhyme move between different worlds, this sort of barrier between them, they gain various kinds of control over it. So at one point it becomes an explosive force between them and they can use that to their own advantage. At other points in the game it becomes a solid barrier that they can sort of manifest and use it to climb up to obstacles that they wouldn't be able to reach.
Can we talk a little bit more about the story of the game and how each level represents a different aspect of their relationship?
Yeah, so a lot of the mechanics and worlds tie into the story to a large extent. So for example, in this world that we're looking at, the kind of theme of the world is conflict. And the mechanic that's introduced here is this explosive force that separates the two characters whenever they get close enough. So in this world, we're seeing their sort of relationship be strained for the first time, and that's reinforced by the actual mechanic that you're using while you're playing through it.
Well, thanks for your time today, Bruce. We're looking forward for everyone to play Degrees of Separation when it launches on Valentine's Day, February 14th.